Ready? All right. I'd like to welcome everybody to the second quarter Delaware Sister City Advisory Board meeting. It's April the 12th, and we will take a roll call here, please.
Mr. Bartha?
Here.
Ms. Miller?
Here.
Ms. Sally Grinder? Ms. Teets?
Here.
Councilman Jones?
Here.
Mayor Riggle?
Here.
Vice Chairman Kopp? And Chairman Giebert.
Here. Could I have a motion to excuse Mr. Kopp and Ms. Grider, please?
So moved.
Second.
Ready?
Yes.
Mr. Bartha?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Teets?
Yes.
Councilman Jones?
Yes.
Mayor Riggle?
Yes.
Chairman Giebert.
Yes. Thank you. We'll move to item 2 on the agenda here, which is the approval of the motion summary for the meeting that we had on January the 12th. And you've all seen a copy of that. Are there any changes that you would like to make to this? Could we have a motion to approve this motion summary, please?
Make a motion to approve motion summary for January 12th, 2016.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Can we have a vote on that, please?
Mr. Bartha?
Yes.
Ms. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Teets?
Yes.
Councilman Jones?
Abstain.
Mayor Riggle?
Yes.
Chairman Giebert.
Yes. Thank you. We'll leave the date of our next meeting till where it is on the agenda. And Dan, do you want to tell us about the Global Scholars Diploma Program? What's happening there?
Sure. No, they're ramping up to get started with this beginning in the next school year, so starting in the fall, hoping to get a cohort of about 25 students, looking at 9th grade students for the Global Scholars Program, which is through the Columbus Council of World Affairs. I know we've talked about it a couple times here. They've been actually working closely with Granville High School, which has a cohort of students that are in the program right now. And so the hope is that those students will be able to go through, it's more of a 3-year program, building on a lot of, global consciousness, cultural ideals, and also kind of working along with, some of the core curriculum. And so really has some great offerings and some great experiences for the students. So they've been working with Granville. Granville's been doing it. I think this is year 2 or 3 for them. So I think they've been instrumental. I think the high school is still working on getting a person on the teaching staff who's going to be leading that next year and looking at what that's going to look like. But I do know that there was a generous grant from an anonymous donor through the Delaware County Community Foundation, which is helping this get off the ground. And Principal Rick Strand just mentioned, I think he and Rand have had a couple conversations this spring, just getting ready for that. So if there's anything that you want to mention in addition to what I've shared, feel free.
Well, the reason that this is quite relevant for our committee is that students in this program will have to do international projects, which could well coordinate with our sister cities to maybe introduce them to students in our sister cities who they might do some projects with, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It'll be good to see what kind of opportunities come out of it.
So will all 25 students go to the same place at the same time, or?
Not necessarily. I think there are options available, but there wouldn't necessarily be a requirement attached that they're all going somewhere at the same time.
There's quite a lot of flexibility in this program. It's really sort of a supplemental, doesn't really replace any of the high school curriculum as such. The hope is that teachers will use this in classes or courses that are relevant to this program. So,
and then there are several meetings throughout the year where all the students from around Central Ohio who are part of the program get together, and there will be different speakers who come, or different conference type sessions that are for them different times during the year. So a chance for them to come together. But yeah, Rand's correct that it's seen more as a supplement to their curriculum. So at the end of when they graduate from high school, they would get almost like a I think there's actually like a seal that is, goes on the diploma for the Global Scholars Diploma that's in addition to the regular high school requirements.
Very nice.
I think also that Dempsey's been very involved with our sister city in Secaucus. And I think that is something that will definitely continue in the future, but it might give kids something that they can look forward to doing. If they enjoyed Secaucus, hosting a Japanese student, for instance, in their home, there are ways to maybe follow that up in high school.
And we got just to add, I know you're going to Secaucus next, but we did get a nice letter in the mail at Dempsey just weeks ago from our friends in Secaucus that their students had done a presentation much like when we were here a few months ago. So they had gone home, done a nice presentation back home about their travels to Ohio. So they were happy to share about that.
Right, and I think that this particular program is a very good opportunity for us to work with Omutnitsk, with our Russian sister city, that we haven't really known exactly how to contact them, what to build on with them. But I think this program offers a lot there. So I see the development of this program over the next few years to be very helpful for our sister city program here. It might be a way to involve people in the community, not only students, but their parents, and some of these projects might gain some visibility in the newspaper and so forth. So,
Are we also working towards, I know the kids are coming back from, every year they come back from Japan. Are we working this year on sending kids there?
Not this year.
So we're going to skip a year?
And they hadn't, yes, they went not this past summer, but the summer before that. And that was actually the first time that we've been able to get a group of students to go over. So it's certainly a hope in the plans. I think it did end up, it was several $1,000s per student. Obviously it's a long trip. So we're working to try to get that in place in the future.
And do we hope that to be in every year?
It would be great. I think right now, realistically, I think, and the families that went, I think they were preparing for several years, leading up to it to go. So it would be great. We'll see what's realistic as we look forward.
Okay.
Yeah. Dan, could you just comment a little bit about just generally involved, it's kind of education changing? Is there more interest in international education, kind of, if you want to call it that, in sort of middle secondary school, just in the general?
I do. I think we've got some great world language teachers at Dempsey, and they bring a wonderful balance of language skills, but also putting a heavy emphasis on just some cultural awareness and really trying to build just some global awareness and global acceptance. And they do a wonderful job. And I think they're building a good foundation of students who are going up and then excelling in the foreign languages at the high school. So it continues, I think, for those students, really trying to build an awareness that having that strong foundation is going to lend itself amazingly as they progress through high school and then onward, really to be part of the global community, whether it's in business or education, whatever it may be. A number of students year after year who are coming back after saying that they've studied abroad or that they've begun to do volunteering abroad. So a lot of great experiences out there.
Mm-hmm. Is there any potential in the future that like Spanish might be taught to like elementary school children?
I think the potential's there, certainly.
Okay. Are there any other questions for Dan or about the Global Scholars Program? It'll be a regular part of our development in the future to sort of see how that develops here.
I think the July meeting will be a good chance to provide an update just as we start to look forward to who those students are going to be and what some of those projects are going to look like.
Okay, thank you, Dan.
Sure.
Thank you. So we're going to move on here. Well, do you know when Tom might come to talk a little with us about Secaucus?
Yeah. Do you want me to know?
Nah, he just said, these are the tentative dates that they've given us. I think 9 days is a little long to be gone.
Well, can I, if we move on to point 4 here now, planning for the visit to Secada, this is a range of dates. I think probably we wouldn't expect to stay that long, maybe 4 to 5 days. That would be what I would imagine would be the time for Secada. Perhaps having gone all the way to Japan, people might want to stay a little bit longer and visit Tokyo or Kyoto or something like that. But that would just be personal in a way.
Yeah, these are the dates that they suggest.
Right. It's probably a time for the Cherry Blossom Festival in Japan. So it's a good time to go for that. It'd be very beautiful, I think. I think some of the planning that is good now, fixing the dates is really helpful because that gives us something to focus on, and also for them. They can focus on that and kind of clear, they won't book other stuff for that time. So probably at least they'll give some attention to us. But it probably is helpful to see how we might form a delegation. And I don't know if you've thought about that in a way, Carolyn, at all, because in a way, it would be great if you went, for instance.
I am going.
You are going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No question.
Well, if you go, then you would de facto be the leader of the delegation, and in a way, who goes with you would be something that would be.
Council members?
I'm planning on going.
Yeah, I have a few council members are planning.
Really? Okay. Okay.
And I would imagine Tom's gonna go.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I think we need Elaine. She's gotta take notes. You have to learn your Japanese.
You will definitely need some administrative help on the trip, and
Right.
some Japanese language support, perhaps that you take from here.
Right,
even with
and the
you.
one that we had, the interpreter that we had, that lived in Pennsylvania,
Pittsburgh, I think.
Pittsburgh, she would like to go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she was good.
Mhm.
She was
Her
good.
mother lives right near there, so she would love to go with us.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that it would be good if you and Tom sort of formed a delegation, or that you kind of oversaw who went a bit. So, because otherwise, how will that happen?
Right.
And I think you and Tom could decide how many people you wanted to go and who's going to pay for what, because
Right.
that's also a factor, I mean, there might be people who would own way to go, for instance, but I think that's just something you have to consider.
What we did when we went to Germany, we all get our own way.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because this will be definitely be more expensive than going to Germany. So, okay. So, should we put this on the agenda for the future, or do you want to follow this up in some other way?
I just keep you posted after Tom and I meet,
Okay. Okay.
what we're thinking. I'll reach out to council members and see who's interested.
Okay, so maybe you can give us a little report as we go forward. And if there's anything you would like help with from this committee or support from this committee, I think we would try to help with that, okay?
Thank you.
So I think whether we actually members go or not, it's not that important for supporting this trip. So, okay, well, that's great. I think fixing the dates is really, really helpful. Does anybody else have any questions about Secada and sort of what we're planning now?
I don't think so.
Okay.
For you. I mean, that'd be great. Great connections, yeah.
Now, your 5 days include, how long it takes to go there, like?
How many hours?
Yeah.
I don't know, I haven't looked into it.
Any
Any idea?
I would say 1.
Well, the situation is that Secada is not very close to Tokyo. So even after you get to Tokyo, you're going to have like a 4-hour train trip. I think you can fly to Secada, but again, that's probably more expensive. I'm just guessing. So getting from Tokyo to Secada is another part of the journey. So yeah, bless their hearts though. They really had a good time here, I think. So I think that really worked out well. So, All right. Shall we move on to Baumholder and what's going on there? Item 5 on our agenda. We, just to give you a little bit of background on things at the moment, Jay Martin was going to take the Ohio Wesleyan soccer team to Germany this August, but they postponed that for a year due to some issues with the team that you may be aware of. So, so Jay's not going this summer, but Sarah Holman's going, I think in July, to visit the person that came here and that she stayed with on their exchange in 2013. So that's really nice. And in a sense, that's the kind of visit that helps our sister cities. Like I think Annie Brush has been back to Baumholder. You still keep in touch with Gabby. I think these kinds of things are really important and really helpful. And
did you hear what he said, Sarah Holman? That's Tom's daughter.
Oh.
So I didn't think they heard you.
right, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
assumed. Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. And I'm going to visit my daughter in Poland this week. I'm leaving Thursday to go to Poland. And I'm also going to visit Baumholder on this trip. So I've been in touch with Peter Lang, who is still the mayor. Yes. Yes. So Peter's he's still going to be a host for me and so forth. He's still the mayor till August, the mayor of the district. He was, up until about a year and a half ago, the mayor also of the village. So he won't be a part of the administration after August, but I don't think that means that it'll be interesting to see if he wants to continue to work with us. So, and what the new administration in Baumholder, how they might perceive us. I don't know what emphasis they might give to their sister cities or not, but
Had we met whoever beat Peter? Did we know who that was? Did we meet that person?
Peter Lang? Oh.
No. Did we meet who beat Peter?
Oh, I don't know who beat him.
I don't either. I don't know either.
I can find out from Gabi. And Gabi works in administration there in the village.
Right.
Okay.
So if when you're there, will you take pictures of the museum? Because I want to see how it's coming along.
Yeah.
It's supposed to open last year. Now, I don't know if it's going to open this year or next year.
Yeah. It might be good if I had some contact information for Gabby, just to make sure that I meet her while I'm there
Sure.
and so forth. That would be nice.
Okay.
So,
Get that to you.
okay. Thank you. So I've got kind of a program that's being set up there because I would like to meet whoever the new administrators will be, if that's possible, and also to see if there's a school there that we can connect with in the future, because the secondary school that's in the city of Baumholder is closing, but the children from Baumholder will obviously go to some school someplace, so perhaps we can meet some of the people, the administrators there. So I hope to do that, just to see if there are some educational contacts that we can make for our Global Scholars Program, for instance, to school that we can focus on with that. So I think that I will have some more things to report even when I come back from Baumholder, even just 2 weeks from now or so. I hope to send you a little bit of report about how things went and what we can expect from Peter or not expect. I mean, I think the Sister City program here only started when you went in 2012, right, Carolyn?
Well, we had the Sister City before because of the soccer.
Right, but I think that was
Right.
officially started in 2012 when you went there as a city council.
Did they go
But
there first or they come here first?
They came here first.
Yeah, they came
oh,
here
that's
first.
right,
so
they came here
thinking.
first, right?
Right.
That might have even, I probably wasn't very aware of that myself. But we're bound to go through some periods, ups and downs with our sister cities over the years. I think that's just what you have to expect. There will be changes of administration. Some administrations may be more or less interested in their sister cities. So I think that's why it's important to have some functional contacts, maybe with schools. Like Sakata, they've been sending kids here for 20 years. I mean, that's the sort of contact that you'd like to have, where there's regular things happening that aren't based on who's in office, or that aren't just based on politics. Does that make sense? So that, I think that's sort of a goal for our other sister cities, is, and in general, to have some regular things that develop. So, and just moving on here to Rotary Exchange. One of the things that I'm going to explore while I'm in Germany, I've already started this, is to see if we can, in the summer of 2017, Rotary has long-term exchange programs and short-term exchange programs. And the short-term programs in the Northern Hemisphere generally happen over the course of a summer. A student from Delaware would apply to go to Germany and then be assigned by Rotary Germany to some city in Germany. And they would go there for 4 to 6 weeks and stay with a family who has a child their age. And then that child will come and stay with a family here in Delaware for 4 to 6 weeks. So it's kind of a home and home exchange over the summer. So what could happen is that we could have somebody from Delaware go to Baumholder and somebody from Baumholder come to Delaware in the summer of 2017. So it would just be a matter of Rotary actually doing that for us, because normally they don't. Normally they would decide where they send people from the United States, but we're going to ask them specifically to send a student from Delaware to Baumholder. So I'm just going to see if we can make that work with the Rotary people in Germany. So I'm going to have a meeting with them too while I'm there. And so then it would be a matter of us finding a student who wants to go to Baumholder. Could probably find somebody here. And somebody from Baumholder who wanted to come here.
Right.
So that might be just something that would be good to have some kind of interaction like that. And they'd be here for a while. Be nice if somebody could go for the whole year, perhaps, like that. And but Rotary might be a way for us to have some exchanges with our sister city that we didn't have to supervise. You know, it wouldn't be something, because right now the student groups that are coming are chaperoned, you know, and that's quite a bit of work to make those kinds of things happen, whereas Rotary already has a structure for people to fit into, so it doesn't require any supervision from us, just some kind of direction. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So I don't know, it just remains to be seen how this might develop, but if we can make that happen in the summer of 2017 between Delaware and Baumholder, that would be an example of it. So maybe a model for some of our other activities. So just to tell a little bit more about Rotary, Rotary has clubs all around the world, and they, for several decades, have focused on curing or eradicating polio. So that's coming to an end, because polio only exists in very, very few countries right now. There are very, very few cases, and they're very close to eradicating it. So I think there are some other issues that Rotary might entertain, and education might be something that might get more emphasis from them. So, because I think that a lot of companies and people see that having some international exposure can be really helpful for their kids. So, all right, is that enough on Baumholder? Does anybody have any questions about that?
When you, if you want to contact somebody for Rotary in Baumholder, Tom did, when we were there, he went to a meeting to exchange the flags. So he'll have that information. Yeah,
I'm going to that club. I've already got that organized to go to the club in Kusel.
Good.
So because I think that club that we would work with, because Rotary requires sponsoring clubs. So we would need a German club in the Baumholder area to actually sponsor students. So I'm hoping that club will do that. So, all right, well, why don't we move on to item 6 here on Omutensk and Arequipa. I don't have any thing new to say about this right now, but what I'd like to suggest, maybe we keep on the agenda for July to see if we can see what might happen there. And also, Omutninsk, I've kind of been waiting with Omutninsk for the Global Scholars Program to become close, to get closer to actually happening. Because Omutninsk, I think we have to do something sort of apolitical with them. Mm-hmm. We have to do something that is meaningful but not political. Does that make sense? I mean, we have to be careful with them. I think they want to, though. I think they would like to do something with us. So I think that we should work with that. And I think the school could be the means to do that. I think, you know, it would be young people. I think it doesn't have to become political. So
Just Skyping back and forth.
Perhaps we haven't done that yet. No one here has ever spoken to Natasha in Omutninsk. We've been in email contact with them, with Natasha. I mean, Natasha's a great contact. I mean, she's very, Natasha Medvedev's, she's the English teacher at the high school in Omutninsk. And
so is there a teacher at the school that you could think of that we could hook these two together?
I think it would be something worth exploring, especially once they determine who the advisor, I think, of the program is going to be, which I know they're trying to work out right now. I could see that being a natural connection, and then some of the topics or the subject matter that come along with some of the projects through Global Scholars might just provide a natural platform to make some of those connections. So I think there's absolutely some potential for that.
The Russian teacher, Stephanie Merkel at Ohio Wesleyan, is quite interested in working with us and working with the high school students on this. So we're just kind of waiting for that to kind of move along a little bit. Okay. So I think maybe we can look at that some more in July, and also at Arequipa, and see how to explore that. I had a meeting with Tim Sword from Columbus Sister Cities a few weeks ago, and I think we can do some more work with him. And I appreciate what we're doing up here, and so I feel like they'll be a good contact for us. So. Well, I don't have any more really coming from me this evening. Does anybody else have any questions before we address our next meeting?
Did we ever put a bomb holder sign up as a sister city? So we still have the one from Russia, but
I don't know that we did. We talked about taking them down because there's such a big cluster.
yeah, it's true too.
So I don't know that we ever did.
All right.
We have Secada now too, so really we have 3 official sister cities right now.
Be nice to consolidate them
I know, so I was
into
thinking.
one.
Maybe put some kind of a monument out front here at City Hall and put all 3 symbols on one, or.
Right.
We could have a tree for each of the sister cities around the building here.
The gentleman that gave me that tree the other day was asking how it was doing and making sure that the arborist is taking care of it. And he has his phone number so he can call him and tell him what to do. He's really worried about that tree. I thought that was cute.
Right. Yeah, having a Japanese maple, I'm sure that we could find some plant for our sister cities, but that's another day. So there is a statue being built here, isn't there? Or there's going to be a statue here on the corner of Sandusky and William Street. Okay, so there will be some more kind of things down here.
But that'll be on the other side of the street.
Right. But if they need trees over there, we could.
Okay.
Okay. Well, about our next meeting, typically we've been having it on the second Tuesday of the month. So that would be July the 12th. Is that a good day to set it for?
Too far out from me.
Yeah.
I know. Well, it's good. We'll make it for that. Okay, Elaine? Okay. And just a little bit of a housekeeping thing. I'm expecting to start working full-time at the beginning of June. So, but it's a job that can accommodate this for me. So I really enjoyed this committee, and I really would like to continue with this. So I'm glad to find a job that doesn't sort of distract me from that, I don't think. So
Well, you do a fine job too.
it's fun. I hope you have fun too. If you don't have fun, we should do something
Right.
a little different. So anyhow, we were talking about it a little bit beforehand, but next in July, we'll try to have some snacks and so forth
Oh.
before the meeting. We haven't done that for a couple of meetings. So,
He brought it up.
right.
Sure, like you probably did.
So, all right. Well, do we have a motion to adjourn then?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Thank you, Carolyn. Shall we have a vote on adjourning? We don't need to do that.
we don't do that.
Okay, super. Great. Well, thank you very much. Thanks, Randall.
I don't, I mean, how big is it? Like how many